Shouting you. Did I say it? I realised you must have.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Ovaltai, and this is a bit of an unusual video. I've got a friend's car up in a hoist, and it's a very interesting and indeed beautiful car. So I'm going to take some footage underneath. My good friend Dave here is watching me, but I won't put him on screen just in case. And it's a beautiful day here in Gippsland, but it is also getting quite hot. So I'm enjoying just working gently on this car before we go down to the pub, I think. So I'll start at the back. It's a W126 Mercedes 420 SEL, and I don't know the proper paint colour, but a champagne gold, or as I call it, and I hope I don't get into trouble for this, Jewish racing gold. It's a beautiful specimen, the SEL W126 chassis designation. So starting at the back, we've been through it and there's a couple of issues we've found, but overall it's very sound. My opinion of these cars is that cars never got any better post this, and certainly Mercedes and the 124, 126 chassis designation are probably the best things ever made that I've seen. They're absolutely beautiful. Running to the back here, there's no oil on the diff. There's been a slight bit of interaction with something on the fin there. And likewise at the back of the fuel tank, there's a couple of divots, so we'll fix them and just touch them up. But that's just normal wear and tear. Fuel pump setup with the fuel filter above it, which all looks tidy and serviceable. The back end, nothing really I could see at all on it. All the bushes, all the joints, the rubbers, everything looks good. That's the accumulator for the self-leveling suspension. That's a switch for the hydraulics with the actuation there, all moving and free, if you can see that, which is good. The donuts on the drivetrain on these is spectacular in terms of refinement, and that's one of the reasons it's got these donuts or rubber interacting things between the drive shaft and the differential flanges, and same with the transmission up front. Exhaust is a fairly hefty affair, and there's some corrosion on the outer skin here. Don't know if it's blown, I don't think it is, but obviously that's something that will have to be looked at in the future. The chassis mounts, everything looks good. The chassis itself is absolutely perfect, straight as a die, and just needs a good wash, which I've offered to do at a later date once it's fixed up a bit. Exhaust running through, as I said. The donut on the transmission side is in good condition. Transmission mount, good condition, just oxidation on the rubber. No leaks underneath the transmission. Move up to the front suspension. So what we found was, if I can see it on camera, you might see this. If my good friend gives it a wiggle, yeah, you can see that ball joint moving on the tie rod. And we found another one here as well. So it's in need of a bit of a maintenance job up the front. Engine mount's good. There's some seepage around the steering box, which could just be from it standing or not getting used, so that'll just get cleaned and potentially seal itself. Suspension brakes, everything's fine. It's had some work. This centre ball joint here on the lower trailing arm has been, or the suspension arm has been changed, and you can see around it it's had some spanner marks on the bolts, etc. But it's 48,000 kilometres on it, which obviously in a car like this is next to nothing. And the real core of the car, the engine, the gearbox, are barely running. Very nice, very nice. Now I'm going to, with this one, I've given you the top, the underside. I'm going to give you the bottom. So I'm going to ask my good friend, because I don't want to stop the video, just to hold that, and I'll drop it and I'll tell you why I think down, you'll see it's not been cussed with the chrome arch disease that these things get. I advised my friend to stay away from that because it introduces rust and it just looks terrible to me, to my eyes, just spoils the design. This was a car designed in the era of a guy called Bruno Sacco, who did this design, and it's just beautiful. The CD, the coefficient of drag, frontal area of drag, was 0.32 for such a big car is amazing. 0.32 I think in the base saloon models. Plenty of room in the engine bay there. Yep. And Werner Breiksvert, there you go. And my friend is called Dave Werner, so there you go. Plenty of room to work on, conventional. One of the reasons why I like this era of cars is, although it's electronic fuel, mechanical fuel injection, I think it is, yeah, might be FI actually. It has ABS and all the safety gear. It is, you can work on it, you can do stuff with it, you can understand where things are, you can get parts for it, you can clean it, you can do stuff with it, you can engage with it, and as such, it's a dying breed. And of course, when you drive one of these things, they're just beautiful to drive. Waft along the road, you've got a particularly Mercedes feel that is somewhat diluted in modern Mercedes, but still there. But not, there is no mistaking when you sit in a Mercedes of this era that you're in that type of car. So the engine I haven't really went through. It's had a recent service. So I'll close the bonnet and we'll talk about the interior. Paint's beautiful on it. I've been over it and I cannot find a mark, and it's factory. I know a bit about paint, and absolute perfect. Nothing, no dents, nothing. And the interior, when it came, I couldn't believe that it hadn't been re-leathered, and then I looked, and the leather in the interior is perfect as well. And if you talk about interiors and why, and I sound like an old git now, but the layout and the functional experience of driving these is just night and day from a modern car. And the youngsters and people who grown up with the cars of nowadays will not appreciate it, and that's fair enough. That's the way the world goes. But it is a spectacular thing to sit and drive. The quality, the carpets, the cleanliness, the door cards, the wood. The wood, especially in Australia, takes a bit of a beating from the sun. But this one is perfect. Interesting, these headlights are a kind of Mercedes Bruno Sacco feature, and the idea is in Germany, where you get really bad conditions in the winter with salt on the roads, this protects from dirt the lights and allows you to be safe on the roads. Yeah, and they've got that drain on the top as well. The design, the time they take to do it and the things they do. Cavernous boot. I won't remove the carpets to let you see it. Oh, we are. I'm going to lift it up a bit. And yeah, there's the spare, the jack, and of course the car is painted outside after a lot of treatment on the interior body with particular primers, etc. So it's just gold on the outside. There's the other side unmarked as well. And likewise, burr walnut fascia, which is my favourite. They have I think they had a Zebrano version of this, which is a striped timber. I just like the burr walnut. It's very reminiscent of your luxury Jaguars and things like that. Headlining, all perfect, not sagged. And as I said, the paint, I would just love to have this paint and just play with it all day. Paint. Yes, so a bit of a privilege to have it. I'm thankful for Dave bringing it along, and I'm hoping to have a run in it now. I've advised him we probably need to get that tie rod fixed fairly quickly, but it's drivable just now, and just take it easy and don't rally stage it or anything like that. But beautiful. I forgot to mention the parallelogram wiper that was carried on carried on from the W124 as well, and 123 I think I had it as well, which smooths up the aerodynamics in the end. So, yes, peak car, and I think that'll be the thumbnail that says this is peak automotive car. So probably get a lot more, look how sweaty I am, you get a lot more videos from me soon, because I'm actually, there's situations happening that mean I might be in the garage a bit more than I have been, so I'll look forward to speaking to you. Thank you very much, and bye.